Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some more Call of Duty World War II. The private beta is now over, ladies and gentlemen. What a time I had. I played so much Call of Duty World War II, it's kind of absurd. If I had to guess, based off of how fast you level up in the game, I would probably be like 8th Prestige by now. Like, I played that game so much, I tested out everything thoroughly, and I want to make this video discussing divisions within Call of Duty World War II. A lot of people are asking me questions about divisions and whether or not it's going to be good for the game. I wanted to wait until the beta was over so we had access to everything, right? Because who knows when they were going to add like a new basic training or how that was actually going to affect the game or a new weapon or what have you. So I wanted to wait until the beta was over until I tested out divisions thoroughly and tried out every basic training and every step and really got a feel for how good the system actually is. Bottom line, I like divisions within Call of Duty World War II. It's a very interesting setup, right? So let's take a look here at my M1A1 class. This is a class where I have a ton of benefit. I really do. And it's because of the infantry division itself. Because of the infantry division, I have the ability to have a bayonet on my rifle if I choose to use a rifle. I can have an extra attachment on my primary. I get more ammo by default, and I have the ability to move faster while aiming down sights, which is kind of like adjustable stock if you think about it. So if I want to make a class here with the M1A1, this essentially has 5 attachments on it, which is absurd. And then it also has the bandolier perk, and it has the hardline perk because I went with that particular basic training. And I also have a secondary. I have my choice between a lethal and a tactical grenade, and of course I have my 3 score streaks. That's actually a pretty powerful class in the grand scheme of things. For example, let's go back to Black Ops 3 and try to rebuild a similar class here. So I have the Shiva, right, semi-automatic rifle. Let's try to put my 5 attachments on there. I can add a secondary, I can add a lethal, but now I'm out of points. I have no room left to put perks or anything on here, whereas in Call of Duty World War II, I have this exact same class, but I also have the benefit of essentially the bandolier perk and the hardline perk on top of it. So as you guys can see, the division system in Call of Duty World War II is like pick 10, but at times you can get much more than just 10 choices. You can actually get a lot of things thrown on top of your class. Now that's kind of a cherry-picked example, so let's go ahead and look at where divisions aren't exactly as good at pick 10 in some situations. So here is going to be my armored division class. This is my objective class, right? It's a submachine gun, 2 attachments, a pistol, a grenade, the ability to reload faster, and of course, flak jacket and tactical mask, which are built into the armored division itself. If I try to rebuild this in Black Ops 3, I can pretty much recreate the entire class, but for cheaper. As you guys can see here, I only spent 9 out of my 10 points. You could argue that in World War II, the class is technically better because you have the ability to reload while sprinting, and you also take less damage from fire. But here in Black Ops 3, I have an entire extra point where I can spend on any perk 2 that I want. So I would say both classes are pretty similar in terms of strength, but the point is the divisions system in Call of Duty World War II is on average as good or better than the traditional pick 10 system in terms of how powerful you can actually make your character. The downside to divisions is how restricted you are if you want to make a certain build. It's kind of odd, right? I've just said like how powerful divisions are and how they oftentimes are better than the pick 10 system, but at the same time it's also much more restrictive than your traditional pick 10 system. And this is actually because the best skills in Call of Duty World War II are tied to your division skills, and you cannot cross divisions whatsoever. As a result, you cannot run a silencer on anything other than the submachine guns, and that's only within the airborne division. You cannot run a silenced SMG with the equivalent of Ghost, because silencers are for the airborne division and Ghost is for the mountain division. There is currently no way to muffle your footsteps other than to play within the mountain division, and I wonder how that's going to affect Search and Destroy. There is no way to reduce damage taken from lethal or tactical grenades other than to run the armored division itself. The purpose of this system is to force you to make important decisions regarding your class. I've got to say, I sort of like the decisions that we have to make. When I'm running the mountain division, I love the fact that I can hide from enemy recon aircraft and move around silently while I'm doing it. But there's a downside to it, right? I can't equip a suppressor to my weapon. This makes it so I can get behind enemy lines very easily, but while I'm there, I have to really pick my shots, be careful, and be very aware of my surroundings. There's a give and take there. On the flip side of things, within the airborne division, you don't have the ability to hide from enemy recon aircraft. You don't have the ability to move around quietly, but you can equip a suppressor to your submachine gun and I love the fact that I can equip and unequip a suppressor at will while playing within that particular division, because if you do get behind enemy lines and you do equip your suppressor, suddenly it feels like you're just a god behind these people, right? Because nobody in Call of Duty World War II is used to people flanking them. They're not used to people running around silently behind them with a weapon. They're used to looking at their minimap. They're used to hearing the very loud weapons, and so you can really get behind enemy lines and take people out very easily. But if an enemy recon aircraft goes up in the sky, I suddenly don't have Ghost to fall back on, right? I have to choose. Do I want to have a suppressor or do I want to have the Ghost perk? You can't have both, and I like the fact that they kind of force you to make that kind of a decision. Here in Call of Duty World War II, you are not going to be all powerful when it comes to your class. You can't just have Flak Jacket and Tac Mask and Marathon and a suppressor and the ability to move faster while aiming down sights. While all those things are great on their own, you can't just have them all in one class, and I get that people like that. There's a reason why the Pick 10 system has been so popular, but here in Call of Duty World War II, you're forced to make an important decision when it comes to your class. You can be very powerful, really, really powerful, more powerful than a normal Pick 10 system, in fact, but it's limited at the same time, and personally, I'm a big fan of that system. Now, it is worth mentioning that we haven't seen all of the basic trainings that are going to be available within Call of Duty World War II. In the beta, we received 14 basic trainings through 35 levels, and if that trend continues, that means we can probably expect about 8 more when the game goes live, and I wonder exactly how powerful they are going to be, because during the alpha, we saw some very, very powerful basic trainings that may be in the full game, but I have a feeling they're not going to be. We saw Phantom, which gave you quieter movements, no fall damage, and immunity to recon aircraft while moving. That seems almost way too powerful. We had Scoped, which would allow you to move faster while aiming down sights and take an extra attachment on your primary. We saw Hunker, which would reduce explosive damage taken and allow you to see enemy equipment. These all seem to be very powerful, and it's kind of interesting looking at that old footage and seeing the old division skills versus the new ones and the old basic trainings versus the new ones. I have a feeling in World War II, we're going to have more basic trainings, but they're not going to be the ones I just described. They're going to be powerful, no doubt, but they're not going to be replacing divisions, because it's very clear, Sledgehammer Games has made it very clear that they would like to have it so we have to make important decisions when it comes to our classes. We are going to be powerful, but we're not going to be all powerful. We are going to have to play different rules. That is what this game is being built up to be, and personally, I'm a fan. I can understand why people don't like it, but my takeaway of Divisions so far with what we've seen in the beta is I think it's a cool system, and I'm excited to see what the full version of it's going to be like come November. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here in this video. Thank you guys all so much for listening. Let me know your thoughts on Divisions down there in the comment section below. I did do a poll on Twitter yesterday. This video was originally going to go up last night, but I decided to push it back till today because I wanted to change a couple of things, and it was way too late when I tried to record it last night. And these are the results of that poll. People so far don't really know what to think of Divisions, right? The majority of people just say they don't really know. They're kind of like, it's not terrible, it's not great, I don't really know what to think. Some people definitely hate it. I understand that. People have been very vocal about that on Twitter, especially in replies to me whenever I talk about anything regarding Divisions. But so far, I enjoy the system. Again, I would love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. Thank you guys all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.